You're now South Belly. I'm John Fredericks, and I am your blowtorch, your free speech in America. Dave Brat with us, Liberty University, former Congressman, District 7 for Virginia, basically one of the authors, one of the foremost authors of America First. And he is with us now. I tell you what, went to the doctor, got to go for my follow-up today, got all my blood tests done, blood pressure, perfect. For my age, 67, perfect. Cholesterol, perfect. How do I do it? I'm a big guy, right? Salty. I take this every single day. It's a tea extract. Thank you, Crom Carmichael, and your wife, Mrs. Crom, for basically getting this on the market. You started for yourself. It's an amazing thing. It's perfectly natural. And for my age and the stress I'm under, blood pressure, perfect. Cholesterol, I've been taking this now 2 years. And I just pop it in every day when I get up. I also take magnesium because I get cramps and many other things to get myself going. But this salty is so cheap and it is such a great thing. It's all natural. Everything I take is natural. So and it's very inexpensive. All you got to do for your heart, for your blood pressure, for your cholesterol, just go to GodzillaHeart.com. That's GodzillaHeart.com. Put in promo code Godzilla. You're going to get 50% off your first order. If you go from there, which you should, you're going to buy two, get one free. So you get three for the price of two. Go forward with this every day and get your blood pressure under control, your cholesterol under control, all the right things. Get your ticker solid. It's all tea extract invented by Crom and his friends. GodzillaHeart.com, GodzillaHeart.com, promo code Godzilla. 50% off your first order. Do it now because it's very inexpensive. I mean, when you can pay pennies a day and feel better, like biggest no-brainer in history, right? Let's get back to Dave Brat with us, Senior Executive, Liberty University, former Congressman. So, Dave, I'm going to play this clip here, cut 7. See, I'm not shy about saying this is to get oil. I'm not shy about this. Everybody else, all the other Republicans are kind of meek about it. They would say, well, it's justice. He broke the law. We got an indictment. No, I want to get the oil. I want to get barrels of oil under $50. I want to benefit middle class and low income Americans by getting gas at $1.50. Everything will come down. I'm not shy about it. Here's 7. Trump saying on the airplane gaggle last night that he told the oil companies ahead of time. He didn't tell Congress because he doesn't trust them to leak crap. He told the oil companies, cut 7, roll it.
The country. And they're going to be taken very good care of. Yes, ma'am.
Have you spoken with the oil companies about
Yes.
going into Venezuela?
I have.
Which ones? Have you received any commitments?
All of them, basically.
Any commitments from the oil companies?
They want to go in so badly.
Did you speak with them before the operation took place?
Yes.
Did you maybe tip them off about
Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela. And they're going to represent us well. But, the infrastructure is rusty, rotten, most of it unusable. It's old, it's broken. You see pipes laying all over the ground. Nothing's been invested for years. Chevron's in, as you know, they've done a good job, but even they haven't been in a position to invest money because they're on a month-to-month basis.
What happens to
They're only there because I wanted them to be there.
Are there any contingencies in case the military in Venezuela is unhappy with the U.S. and the way it's running Venezuela? Do you guys have plans for it?
So Venezuela thus far has been very nice, but it helps to have a force like we have. We were ready for a second wave. We were all set to go, but we don't think we're going to need it.
There's about 17 billion worth of oil reserves in Venezuela.
He's going to bring the oil companies in. They're going to have to revitalize the wells that have been laid to disarray because the incompetence of the communists there. And now he says it's for the Venezuelan people, but obviously that oil is going back to the United States. Dave, frame this whole thing for us.
Yeah, well, you just brought up the new relation to property. Property rights are the key to capitalism working, right? Even the Pilgrims came over and screwed it up at first. They all worked in common and they all starved, and then they aligned the fields with private property rights and they flourished. And so Venezuela, I think, used to be equal to the U.S. in terms of GDP per capita back at about 1900. They're very rich. Blessed with all sorts of resources. and they can't even use those trillions of dollars to become rich under socialism and under communism and under Maduro's corruption, right? So they're a very wealthy country, and the people are starving under corrupt conditions. And so, hello, American people, hello, wake up and smell the coffee. So Trump's going to go in there now. This my little skepticism. The Bush machine with Cheney and all those guys in Iraq and oil and Iran and the Middle East, and what were you doing? And the chief of the staff to the president now is part of that thing, was part of that thing. I hope she's now America first. And so we're just going to keep our eye on it, right? And Trump, he couldn't signal what he's going to do on the military part. But now America first is about transparency and representing the people. And so, I want the administration to come real clean on how this oil deal is going to work out in the interests of the Venezuelan people and of our people. Because if you can restructure Venezuela fairly, that will shine a light to the world, right? We're supposed to be a city on a hill, right? The old Pilgrims and Winthrop and all that. And like Israel, we're supposed to be a light to the nations. We have not been a light to the nations for the past 50 years, let me tell you. And a lot of them are ticked off at us. That doesn't mean we're anywhere near as corrupt as they are. But right now, we could really shine a light if we structure that. So it's a win-win, right? Win-win is good in business, good in geopolitics. It looks like that's what Trump is setting up, right? But when he says Chevron and all that stuff, I go, okay, since the U.S. taxpayer, we just spend our money. This is not a collectivist argument, but we just put our money in for the capture and recapture of private property rights and for that capital equipment. And so part of that return is owed to the American people who have footed the bill for our defense $1 trillion budget over the years, right?
Yep.
So there needs to be a very just fair, transparent deal across the board. Capitalism requires that, right? Private property rights are due their return, and the American people have put in their share of investment to make this world a better place, and they deserve a return right now.
No doubt about it. I think you nailed it. We're going to have to watch what these oil companies do, how this is working, because we all remember when they first went into Iraq, and I think it was Paul Wolfowitz, I forget, I'm older, Dave, but Wolfowitz, who were saying, hey, you know what? We're going to take a percentage of their oil. This is how we're going to pay for it. We're going to strike a deal when this is done. We're going to get 30% of their oil for free. It's going to flow forever. That's how we're going to pay for all this. We're going to rebuild it. We're going to get their oil. We never got a dime. We gave it back to them, right? So we all remember these lies, this nonsense about WMDs and all this stuff that never happened. We all remember this, and so we're gun shy about it. But yeah, we need to take a percentage of this oil back to the United States because we freed them, right?
Right, exactly. Right. No, that's right. That's part of the American deal. The American middle class sent their boys over there, right? And we got to do a way better job of paying attention, not to the average. The average is mixed in with Bill Gates, but the middle person in this country needs to see some immediate relief. And the gas pump is one way to do it. The middle class loves gas prices. They know that'll free up some income for them if we get that right.
Well, this is going to be, I think, Lindsey Graham said it's the comeback. Trump disputed that, but I think Graham nailed it. I mean, when we went into the holidays, there was no shot at winning these midterms. We were staring down a disaster on every front. We've lost every election. The Republicans are a joke. They've done nothing in all this time. Finally, the boss gets in there. He does something. And now everybody's fired up again. And but he's got to continue this. This can't be a one-off in the 3rd of January. This has got to be like every 2 weeks. We've got to get the balls, Dave, to get this stuff done, to get the handcuffs out, to get the deportations going. I mean, I believe that if we can double the number of deportations in this country and get these illegals out and get the crime down, Dave, I think now we might have a fighting chance to win the terms. Dave, what say you?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you pivoted over to that because I think there are 8 million refugees out of Venezuela under the socialists. And Congress, it'd be nice, we got, 250 Republican congressmen that could message on this. And you might also mention, and I got plenty of Muslim friends, right? And, so when I'm talking about Islam in the political sphere, I'm talking about connecting dots to having a political philosophy at the national level that works. I'm not, the Muslims were much more hospitable and showed great hospitality through the centuries than the Christian pilgrims did. So I'll give them that one. But right now in the modern world, you can't name a modern Islamic university or a thinker or a philosopher and who speaks for them. And so that's what I'm waiting. Dear Muslim community, the current folks you got speaking for you want to know who the last 3 people that put their hand on the Quran in politics were? AOC, Alexander Cortez. Number 2, Keith Ellison, also out of Minnesota with the Somalis, right? AOC, Keith Ellison out of Minnesota, and then Mamdani. Puts his hand on the Quran. That's not a good trend line, and it's not a good look for Islam, right? If those are the folks that you're supporting and those are your spokespeople, I think the American people are going to have a very hard time with that. So I always try to be constructive. Get it better, right? Align with human rights language coming out of the U.S. and out of the Christian tradition and the Constitution and the separation of powers and the rule of law. And hello, you people in the suburbs that have been putting up with that in Minnesota. I grew up there. There's all my Lutheran, crazy Swedish friends. They went absolutely nuts by being passive in their religion and saying, oh, well, the golden rule, love your neighbors. We have to love everybody. No, it's love everyone as you love yourself. Would you like to live with no rule of law? No, of course you would like to have the rule of law. So love your neighbor as you love yourself. You would require the rule of law of yourself. So require it of your neighbor. Do you not get 1 + 1 = 2? These are the basics of faith. My word, let's get it straight, America.
Dave Brat, thanks for being with us today. My love to you, your family, and your lovely wife. Lauren, tell her I said hi. Dave, we'll talk soon. Have a great day, Dave. People want to follow you. Just go to Brat Economics on Getter, Brat Economics on Getter. Everything is there. Dave, thanks for being with us today.
You bet. Thanks, John.
Dr. Peter McCullough. Up next, keep it right here.